Okay, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So you've heard of people like doing a video where they critique a video that they're watching, sort of like this, except I'm not going to critique. This is actually a video from Dr. Sean O'Mara that I really enjoyed this segment of the video. It's a longer video. In the description, you'll see a link to his entire video, so you can watch the entire video if you want. But this is a segment of it that I really enjoyed. I thought there was really great, valuable information that people should hear in this. So I'm going to play this and I'm going to kind of put my own thoughts into it as we go and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started with it right now.
All right, let's look at some of these photographs for a comparison. Okay, this is a pretty much a healthy heart, very small amount of fat showing up on the surface, but the surface of the heart is almost entirely free of this heart fat. This is probably an autopsy from a motor vehicle accident or gunshot trauma or something. They fell off a cliff or something, but this person is no more, but they did not have much fat. Now this is more, so they're probably in their early 20s, but this person is probably late 20s and 30s. This based on my experience. Thousands of people have come to me. I've got the most experience in the world treating this for 13 years, seeing a lot of heart fat and quantifying it. So this is probably a person in their 30s. Still, the majority of the heart is free of that. You know, if you map that out, it's not yet close to 50% of the heart being served. Now look at this one.
Now, before you go to the other one, I just want to say that's quite a bit of fat already for somebody just in their early 30s. But it really gets to this next one here, the bottom C heart there. And I should also mention this video is from about a year ago. So this is actually before Dr. Sean O'Mara started working with RFK Jr. So just keep that in mind.
There's not a single area you could put your fingertip on that's free of that fat. Nothing. The whole surface. Say, well, God, that person's bad off. You want to know the truth? That person is anybody above the age of 50. Every 50-year-old and above that's come to me. Every one of them. Never seen an exception. You made it to 50 years of age, you're going to have a heart like that. Now, you can free it up because my clients, I get them, my client patients, to get rid of that. And then they don't have that. They'd be the only exception. But when they come, they got this huge amount of fat surrounding their heart. Question.
So that's potentially me, right? I'm 52. Now, I've been doing the carnivore diet for over 3.5 years, getting close to 4 years now. So I'm sort of following somewhat of his protocols as I've continued on the carnivore diet over the last 6 months. I've kind of introduced some fermented foods in that. And over the last few weeks, I've really got more into his protocols. So I should be in better shape than most of those 50-year-olds that are coming in to see him getting the MRI scan, just because, excuse me, just because of being on the carnivore diet and so forth. But there are more to his protocols, you know, doing the fermented foods at the same time as you're eating your meat, fasting, 48 to 72 hour fast at least once a week, sprinting or really heavy, intense, you know, pull-ups, push-ups, that kind of stuff. So those are all things that are part of his thing. So I probably do have a decent amount of fat that I really need to get away from my heart at this point.
How much better does this heart beat than this one if you got that big chunk of fat? If you're, you know, I had was around a guy in his 30s yesterday going up some steps. He was getting short of breath going up steps. This big guy, heavyset guy, and he was getting short of breath. He's only in his 30s. I'm 62 years old flying up these steps. It's because of this stuff. It's not because you're a couch potato. It's because you got this big chunk of fat constricting around your heart. Your heart is just not going to beat as good. That's what's going on. Only nobody knows about this.
That makes perfect sense to me, that, you know, the fat around your heart is really making it harder for it to beat and so forth, and making you more out of breath very easily with very minimal activity. That makes complete sense to me.
You don't know how much heart fat you have around you. You go to your doctor, they don't even know what heart fat is. Go ask them about epicardial adipose tissue. Excuse me, doctor, you're telling me about cholesterol. Isn't the problem epicardial fat around my heart is surrounding my arteries and my heart? Shouldn't I be concerned about that? That'll be a short conversation. They won't know anything about it. Give it a try and watch what happens. What we need to do is this. Somebody please forward this to Secretary Kennedy. You want to know how America changes? We pivot one way. The consumer stops paying attention to cholesterol, the ruse, which is just a distraction. Nobody gets better. That's why it's promoted. If you got better, they wouldn't promote it. You see, nobody gets better. Who in the world out of 8 billion people has ever lowered their cholesterol and said, my whole life got better? All my health problems went away. I got better. Not a person in the world.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. Now, again, I had mentioned about the whole thing with RFK Jr. This is before RFK Jr. started working with him. So you know now that RFK Jr. has been working with Dr. Sean O'Mara, and he completely reversed the amount of visceral fat that was around his fat in a very short order. Around his heart. Did I say around his fat? Amount of visceral fat around his heart in a very short order.
Not a person in the world. Not a person in the world eliminates this fat and doesn't dramatically improve. That's how we get America healthy. Maha. Maha. It's a pipe dream.
That's one of the reasons why I really enjoy watching Dr. Sean O'Mara, because he puts humor into it, right? You got to admit that.
It's nice and cutting food diet and stuff like that. Americans need something to target. Give them something to chase and get rid of that's killing them and destroying their lives. This is it. This is it. Well, let's look at the relationship between visceral fat and heart fat. Okay, so you can understand that. I'm going to stand like this, which is the orientation this patient is in. We're going to do a slice. We did a slice through his abdomen this way.
Now, I know he's going to talk about this, but look at all that white inside. That is visceral fat. Again, he's going to talk about that, but look at all that visceral fat.
Okay, so his front is right here, his abdomen, his back is behind him. So this is his abdominal wall, this is his back, and this is his head, see the H, and this is his feet, or down here, the F. So this is his abdomen. All this white stuff is visceral fat. The same amount of visceral fat you have proportionally is also going to be around your heart, because it's visceral fat that's around your heart. Only it's in your chest. So this stuff is systemic, and it goes around the important things, and it brings disease. So when you get a lot of visceral fat, you're going to have a big chunk of fat around your heart. Make no mistake about it. If you got visceral fat, you've got heart fat. You got heart fat, you got visceral fat. And you also have fat in your muscles. See that? The fat starts infiltrating, turning you into a ribeye or a Wagyu beef, living marbleization in your muscle tissue. So you come into this world with a completely healthy heart. Look at that. It's all beautiful and infant. You don't see this big chunk of fat covering the entire surface. This is where you are, and you should stay this way. But our species have lost our way in terms of how we live. We want to be comfortable, we want to seek pleasure, and we want to eat tasty foods, and that the system is going to give it to us because they're going to make a lot of money off you.
He is spot on with that. The system is going to make money off you, and we have grown accustomed to eating these bad foods that taste really good and so forth, and it's hurting us. It's killing us. You see the amount of fat around our heart in that scan earlier, around the whole abdomen area and everything.
This is what you want to be, and this is probably what you are. So I'm just speaking reality to you, so you know those differences. All right, epicardial adipose tissue. I jumped in utilizing AI to pull every study, every medical study, every health study, every scientific study, every article, medical article, health article, scientific article, case report, series, every all existing medical records that it could access, all autopsy records it could access, which are normally public records. So that's a lot. And everything else it could look at to see if a single human being has ever had a heart attack without having any of this fat on it. And do you know what the answer was? No, consistently. You do the same thing.
That's astonishing, isn't it? Now, he does go on to say that he's talking about a heart attack from a coronary issue. People could have heart attacks from other things that happen, like an accident or something, or some sort of quick trauma type of thing, right? So he's talking about, from coronary event.
Jump in AI and say that. All the studies you could look at, all the books you could read, all the records you could evaluate, all the studies that you have access to. Is there a single case of a human being have a heart attack that didn't have elevated amount of epicardial adipose tissue? And it will tell you the same thing. No. Ding, ding, ding. Doesn't that make you want to get rid of this stuff? If it doesn't.
I mean, it sure should, right? It makes me want to get rid of fat that might be around my heart and in my internal organs and so forth.
I can't help you. I'm wondering why you even watching this video. How is it that you got to me? It's that important that you find this heart fat out. So here's my new mantra. I want to introduce this to as many people as possible. It needs to be on billboards around our country. No heart fat, no heart attack. It's so simple. No heart fat, no heart attack. If you don't have this heart fat around the outside yard, surrounding your coronary arteries where you have that heart attack, you're not going to have a heart attack. I'm staking my entire professional opinion on this. It's impossible to have a heart attack of a cardiovascular disease. Now, you could have a heart attack from trauma, a car accident, some sort of event like that. But we're talking the number one killer in America is atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. And it's impossible to have a heart attack from cardiovascular disease, organic cardiovascular disease, without having elevated heart fat. It's taken my whole professional reputation on. You need to get this to every doctor you know. You need to go to your health influencers and social media and say, why aren't you talking about this?
All right. So that's the video. At least the part that I had. Again, in the description of this video is a link to the full video from Dr. Sean O'Mara. Now, what does Dr. Sean O'Mara do? What are his protocols to get rid of that visceral fat? Number one, it's the carnivore diet. Okay. Number two is, along with the carnivore diet, is fermented foods. You can do things like fermented dairy. So you can do kefir, yogurt. You could do cottage cheese. You need to make sure it's really, really clean, that kind of stuff, though. But aged cheeses that are fermented, things like that. If you want to go a little deeper into it and explore things more, you can do other things like sauerkraut, or drinking the liquid from the sauerkraut, fermented pickles, not pickled pickles, but fermented pickles that actually say on the bottle that it has live and active cultures. So those are some different fermented options that you can do. Again, you can stay away from those last couple and just do the dairy if you want to stay really, really into full carnivore there. But it is carnivore and fermented foods, and you mix it together. So while you're eating your meat for your carnivore, you're going to have a little bite of whatever it is of the fermented food that you're having. Maybe you have some aged cheese of some sort that you're having, or whatever you can mix in there with it. And so those are two big things, right? Number three is high intensity exercise, and that is sprinting, push ups, pull ups, bicycling, really, really fast paced, hard as you can go, maximum effort type of thing for a short period of time, right? Short period of time, high maximum effort. And I mean, these workouts can take 10 to 15 minutes. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing push ups and sprints mostly a couple times a week, maybe three at the most, but 2 to 3 times a week. And for about 10 to 15 minutes, that's all you really need there. And then the fourth really big thing is fasting, where you fast for like 48 to 72 hours, trying to do a 48 to a 72-hour fast about once a week. There are some other little things. You got to make sure that you're getting proper sleep, right? Sleep is very important. So you got that. Try and disconnect from social media using, your phone, so forth. After a certain time period, give yourself at least a good half hour, 45 minutes before bed, that kind of stuff. So there's different things like that. Getting sunlight, that vitamin D that's created by getting in the sun is really good for you. So getting sunlight, walking barefoot, doing some grounding, barefoot on the grass, the dirt, that kind of stuff. Those are all some little things that also really go a long way and help. So those are kind of like Dr. Sean O'Mara's protocols. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this whole video, what you thought about his video. And did you like this format where I kind of talk about a video? It's not really a critique, right? It's just talking about a video that I really like and talking about the positives of it, the good things of it. So let me know what you think about this format.